This is Smart Farm Apple Farm. Yeah, as seen in our previous videos, we can see the mapping here. But most of our trees have been dug, or the holes have been dug already, and good. So, like I said, after the mapping, which is what we have in front of me here, the next thing we do is digging of holes. In this video, we're going to demonstrate how we dig our holes in the farm. First is that after mapping, the hole has to be 60 centimeters wide and 60 centimeters deep in our farm to facilitate digging, because this is land that has not been farmed for a long period. We are using this machine to ease the digging. We also use all the equipment you have here, a spade, a hoe, to be able to take the soil out of the hole. We're going to watch him demonstrate how he is digging the holes for planting. So after using the machine to dig the hole, the next thing we do is we try to take the topsoil and keep aside. This topsoil is full of nutrients, and all the compost, the manure that has built up for several years without this piece of land being exploited is in this topsoil. And with the use of the machine, you can see that it's pretty easy. He's already taken away the topsoil, and now he's getting to the soil at the bottom, which should be about 30 centimeters deep. He's keeping that aside. That we're not going to use immediately when we are doing planting, because that soil is not very rich in nutrient. You can see the color here and the color here. There is a clear difference. So this remaining soil at the bottom is going to take it out, and it's not meant to be used at this time because it will not be good enough for the plant at this time. Maybe after a couple of years it will decompose and it will be ready. I think we're just about 40 centimeters deep. We're going to dig a little bit to get to 60. Cutting off all the roots that are extending into the hole. Okay, it's trying to get at this. We can say that we have a hole which is at 60 centimeters deep and 60 centimeters in diameter. Okay, we look at this hole right now. It is actually in size. You see that the bottom part of the soil is red in color. This is the area which has not built up any manure. It's kind of that red in color, and then we have the dark soil which is full of manure. Now, many may ask the reason why we have to dig a hole 60 centimeters deep and 60 centimeters in diameter. When you have a young plant as this and you're trying to grow it in any area, it is important for you to dig a hole this deep and wide. A reason being that you want to break the hard pan which is in that area, especially for an area that has not been cultivated, I don't know for how many years. It is important for you to do that because this tree is young and the roots are also young, which means that if it's growing in this hole and it immediately meets with topsoil, it will be difficult for the plant to grow. Means the roots will kind of be struggling, and that can make the plant to be dormant and will not be able to grow at speed. So the reason we're doing this is to help the tree grow faster, because the roots will be able to penetrate this soil, or the loose soil that we're going to put in here right now. The roots will be able to penetrate it, and also much more of soil which is rich in manure, which has nutrients that the plant can feed on. That is the reason why we have to dig wide and deep, so that the plant should not struggle. In addition, we know that we experience two seasons here, the rainy and the dry season. When you dig this deep, water is also able to stay in your hole most of the time, and will allow the tree to be able to feed more from the soil which is around, because of the moisture that the water will hold in that hole. So that's the reason why we have to dig our hole this deep and wide. So we've completed with the hole. The next thing to do now is planting, and he's going to use that topsoil that we had removed from the soil, or from the hole, to put into the hole. Now we are in an area which we suffer from lots of nematodes, and in this area we do have some, and for that reason we are using a product called mocap, which we put in the soil. It can last up to 3 months and will kill any insects, termites that could eat up the roots of our plant for the meantime. So we do this for all the trees that we have to plant before we go into planting. So after that is done, we'll have our technician here plant the tree. Okay, we can see how careful he is with the plant, and we can see that the root development in the nursery was perfect, because we have the roots all over in the polythene bag, and at this point we know it's ready to get into the soil. And with all of what we've done here, we think it'd be much easier for the plant to grow without any difficulties. So in this case, we are not using any manure. Like I said, the land here has not been cultivated for several years, and we think that we may use our manure later on when we're looking at flowering, but at this time we want to use just the natural compost or manure that has built up in this farm. So we're going to see him demonstrate what he's doing. But if you're cultivating this in an area which does not have enough compost or build up topsoil which is as fertile as ours, it's important for you to use manure. You can use goat manure, pig manure, but maybe not chicken manure, because it has a lot of acid in it. So let's watch him fill up this hole. Please go ahead. You can see he's actually using just the topsoil to fill the hole. Okay. You can see he's arranging, and he's also making sure that the soil is in contact with the earth from the polythene bag. This will allow the roots to easily get in contact with the soil around here, and also germinate faster. This is exactly what we're fighting against in this area. All of these are responsible for eating up the roots of the tree, and what we've sprayed around, we think that we may not, or they may not be able to eat up the roots. going record book. We used to shit all. Now, this planting is perfect but not complete because we have not watered the plant. After each planting, make sure you put at least 10 liters of water depending on the moisture content of your soil. We think 10 liters will be okay here because we've had rain for almost a month now, and it's been heavy. You can see from the texture of the soil. So for that reason, we'll be adding 10 liters of water after this, and then at that point we can say that our planting is complete. Thank you for watching.